PFT Media.
What's up, my dudes? It's Billy D. Welcome to the Post-Mortem.
Shut up and sit down.
Got some really good stuff today. I don't even know where to begin. Actually, I do. I think I'm going to start with number 85. David Fincher's early 2000s masterpiece, Zodiac. It's super long, it's got great performances, amazing direction, and some of the most subtle VFX you've ever seen in your entire life. It's based on the book of the same name, Zodiac, by Robert Graysmith, who's actually the main character in this movie, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Gyllenhaal proved himself capable of carrying a very heavy drama with this film. He's riveting to watch. I've been saying for years that Gyllenhaal's at his best when he's obsessed. When his character really sinks his teeth into something, Gyllenhaal actually outperforms many actors of his generation. Zodiac has something crazy, like 85% of the shots in the movie have some sort of visual effects happening. Because San Francisco changed so much from the late 60s to the early 2000s when the film was made. They shot it on location, but they had a mobile green screen behind the actors as they were walking down the streets in order for them to rebuild whole sections of San Francisco that were no longer standing because of earthquakes or gentrification. One of the interesting things about Zodiac is that a lot of the people involved in the investigation are still alive. So they all saw the movie and they were pretty impressed with what Fincher had dug up. And actually, when Dave Toschi, the lead detective who's still alive, saw Zodiac, he claimed to have learned a few things about the case. That's how thorough Fincher was. When Fincher and his team were researching the film, they didn't only rely on the book Zodiac by Robert Graysmith. They actually deferred to the police reports in a lot of cases. If they couldn't corroborate a piece of evidence or a story that they had heard, they would rely on the police reports for that information. And this makes Zodiac one of the most accurate true crime films ever made. It's long. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. It's a super long movie. The director's cut is even longer. It's totally worth watching. It's a riveting film that'll have you glued to your chair for somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hours. If you want to be paralyzed with curiosity, see Zodiac. Number 84. Number 84 is a landmark martial arts film. It's probably one of the best action movies made in the 21st century. No, it is the best action movie of the 21st century. And that is the Indonesian film, Raid. Raid is fantastic. This is a straight up fight film. The Raid's about a SWAT team conducting a raid on a high-rise in the inner city. There's about 20 cops, captain, and I don't know, a building full of criminals. They have to get to the top floor. I think there's 13 floors in this building. Whatever, they run out of bullets around the 6th floor. And whoever survives has to fight their way to the top. But the fight scenes in this movie are electric. You have not seen anything like this. I really think they just don't have insurance in Indonesia, and that's why they can get away with it. It's unbelievable. The Raid 2 isn't just a copy of The Raid. It's actually more like The Departed or Infernal Affairs. It's this sprawling crime story that's about infiltrating and taking out these organized crime syndicates. And once again, has some of the most innovative and brutal fight scenes I have ever seen put to camera. You really want to see true athletic and martial arts prowess on display, look no further than the Raid films. Punch! Number 83. Getting in the Wayback Machine for this. 1950 Billy Wilder movie, Sunset Boulevard. This is a classic noir film about a screenwriter who's hired to write a new screenplay to jumpstart the career of an aging silent film star. This movie has some groundbreaking cinema techniques for the time. Great long takes, non-linear story structure, just fantastic black and white photography, and a couple of the final screen appearances of some late great silent film stars like Buster Keaton, Gloria Swanson, Cecil B. DeMille is in this too. And it's a movie about movies, so it's got some really good insider stuff, some weird little in jokes. The line "I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille" is slipped into our like popular culture vernacular, it's kind of like the Force. People who've never even heard of Star Wars kind of know what the Force is. Billy Wilder was an early American master, and I recommend all of his films thoroughly. He is a fantastic filmmaker, and anyone who's interested in film should be watching Billy Wilder movies. You can learn a lot. Check out Sunset Boulevard. It is a great, great old film. Number 82. We have the 1982 sci-fi classic, Blade Runner. It's Blade Runner. This is a true achievement in cinema. The scope, the special effects, the cinematography, the rain, the acting, the drama behind the scenes. It's all amazing. It's all worth watching. There are 5 cuts of this movie. They're all worth watching to some degree. I think that's part of the reason I enjoy this film so much, is because there is this kind of choose your own Blade Runner. This is a true master class in art direction and production design. Just letting this film unfold on your eyes and seeing all these miniatures and this, this dystopian 2019 Los Angeles. I mean, it's right around the corner. A Los Angeles where it rains all the time, like that to me is like a sure sign that it's science fiction. This is a film that was made just before computer graphics took off. It's literally one of the very last 100% practical effects films, and it's phenomenal. It's timeless. Great performances from Harrison Ford, Edward James Olmos, Rutger Hauer. And there's a reason people have been talking about Blade Runner for 35 years. If Ridley Scott only made Alien and Blade Runner, he'd still be considered a master. Number 81. At 81, we have Steven Spielberg again, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because at this time, Indiana Jones was only one movie. They didn't know if the character was going to take off and spawn 2 more films, and then one we won't talk about. You want to see a bunch of fucking Nazis get punched? Watch Raiders. You want to see a bunch of Nazis get their faces melted? Watch Raiders. You want to see Harrison Ford in one of his most badass roles ever? Watch Raiders. This is Indiana Jones. This is pulp adventure. This is pure 80s enjoyment. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the movie that started it all. This is the movie that put the red line on the map. Faces melted off. I think we're done. Episode 4 in the can. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, please. Definitely want to interact with you guys in the comments section. This is a lot of fun. Having a good time doing this. Remember, stay cool. I'm Billy D. Delicious coffee.
A PFT Media production.